Hello, friends. Today I'm going to show you a recipe for incredibly delicious apple twists made from puff pastry. They are quick and easy to make. My name is Marta, and I absolutely love homemade baking. Welcome to the channel. We'll take a package of puff pastry and unroll it. Puff pastry is perfect for those times when you don't have time to fuss with dough, but you still want to bake something delicious and treat yourself. It's autumn now, which means it's apple season. For this recipe, we'll need 2 ripe, large apples. If they're a bit tart, that's even better. It's best to choose firm apples that will hold their shape well after baking. While I peel the apples, please write in the comments which country you are from. I'm always interested to learn more about my viewers. Also, don't hesitate to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is very important and pleasing to me. Peel the apples and cut them into very small pieces. I prefer to cut apples finely rather than grating them, because when sliced, all the juice stays in the pieces and our pastry will be juicier. Look at these tiny cubes we've got. You need to cut the apple quickly, otherwise it will oxidize and turn darker. Heat butter in a frying pan and add the apple pieces. We'll sauté them a bit in butter with added sugar so they caramelize, get a beautiful golden color, and a pleasant texture. Add about 2 tablespoons of sugar. The amount of sugar depends on how sweet your apples are. My apples have a slight tartness. If your apple's sweet, I advise adding the juice of half a lemon, as the tartness only makes this dish more delicious. And of course, we'll add a teaspoon of cinnamon. The combination of cinnamon and apples reminds me of autumn, cozy home vibes, and warmth. It makes you immediately want to brew some aromatic tea and sit by the window, gazing at the yellow trees and enjoying the taste of homemade pastry. Add a teaspoon of cornstarch to the apples. It absorbs excess juice, so that when the apples go onto the dough, they won't make it soggy. The dough will remain dry and crispy, and the filling juicy. Before placing the filling on the dough, it absolutely must be cooled a little. While the filling is cooling, let's return to the puff pastry. I'm cutting off the uneven edge of the dough to get a perfect rectangle. I sprinkle the dough with flour and gently roll it out a bit with a rolling pin. There's no need to roll it out too thinly, as the dough needs to retain its flakiness and rise well. Now, carefully place the apple filling onto the dough. We need to spread all the filling on only 1/2 of the dough, leaving a little free space around the edges. The apple filling smells delicious and looks very appetizing. When all the filling is spread on the dough, we cover it with the second, free part of the dough. We need to join the edges of the dough and seal them together so that the filling stays inside, like in an envelope of dough. Using a fork, I press down on the edges of the dough to ensure they are well sealed. Now, take a pizza cutter or a regular sharp knife and cut the dough into strips about 1 inch wide. take one strip of dough and twist it into a spiral. Place the finished twists on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. I truly love homemade baking. When you bake yourself, you know exactly what ingredients have been added to the dish, and you can avoid harmful additives and excessive sugar. Moreover, the baking process itself is a true pleasure that helps you relax and brings a feeling of comfort and warmth. I think it's important in the hustle and bustle of daily life to find time to prepare such simple and delicious homemade baked goods. Not to rush anywhere, to enjoy every step of the preparation. And in the evening, invite loved ones over and treat them to fragrant, warm homemade buns. To give our puff pastry twists a beautiful golden hue, we'll need an egg yolk. Crack an egg into a small bowl and carefully separate the yolk from the white. Do this slowly so as not to damage the yolk. Transfer the yolk to the bowl and add a little milk. Mix with a brush until smooth. Gently brush the twists with the egg yolk mixture. Sprinkle with sugar on top to get a crunchy sugar crust. I use cane sugar. I like its color and caramel undertone of flavor. But white sugar will also work. The main thing is that it should be coarse, crystalline. Bake our apple twists in the oven for 20 minutes. While they are baking, I usually make a delicious sweet sauce that pairs perfectly with puff pastry. It's made very quickly and turns out flavorful and aromatic. For the sauce, we'll need 1 egg yolk and a tablespoon of sugar. Mix thoroughly so there are no lumps and the sugar begins to dissolve. Add a teaspoon of cornstarch and mix well again until smooth. Pour in milk or cream, about half a glass. Mix well and place on low heat. Heat the mixture, stirring constantly and not allowing it to boil. The heat should be very low so that the sauce heats evenly. As soon as it starts to thicken and becomes about the consistency shown in the video, remove it from the heat and stir for a little more time while the sauce cools. If you have small lumps in your sauce, you can strain the sauce through a sieve. And here are our incredible apple twists made from puff pastry. Look how golden and appetizing they are. It's best to eat them while they are still warm, dipping them in creamy sauce and washing them down with delicious tea. I am grateful for watching the video. I will be happy to receive your likes and comments. If you liked the recipe, subscribe to the channel to stay updated on new interesting recipes.